Hi film fans, it's James and Louise and we're doing our first 24-hour movie marathon. So, this is a response to videos that are on YouTube at the moment. Different people have been doing different film marathons. We've done a few ourselves, but we haven't done an actual specific 24-hour marathon before, so this is our first one. And basically there's different criteria, so you've got to watch different kinds of films. So we've bended the rules a little bit this time, so we've decided that we're going to keep to some of them. So we're going to have a film that's a flop, so we're going to start with this guy here, Howard the Duck, which I've never seen before, but Louise has seen, so that
a long time ago.
So that'll be an interesting one. But I've heard very bad things about it, so we'll see if it's any good. Then we're going to move on to foreign films. So we've got Seven Samurai on the planner, so we'll be watching that one next. Silent film, so we've got a bit of Charlie Chaplin, City Lights. So we'll move from there onto our second 3-hour film. We've got about three 3-hour films, so actually, well, Seven Samurai's nearly 4 hours, I think. But we'll move on to Schindler's List after that, so that's the Best Picture winner. Singin' in the Rain, one of the best musicals, if not the best musical, in my opinion, so we'll be watching that one. I've got The Godfather Part 2 as well, which we might retreat into the bedroom for that one, because we've got that on the hard drive. We've got the remake of The Karate Kid with Jaden Smith and Jackie Chan. So we'll be having a Chinese with that later. For some random reason they've gone to China in that film, not quite sure why. Donnie Darko as well, which we've got here as well on the TV. As the cult classic. We've got Finding Nemo as our animation choice, and we're going to finish with, you might not be able to see this one because we've just got the disc, it's The Elephant Man. So John Hurt and Anthony Hopkins. It's a great film from David Lynch, so we'll be finishing with that one. And we worked out the timings because it's a 24-hour marathon. Well, Louise worked out the timings, and it comes to 23 hours and 59 minutes. So with this introduction video and a little bit of talking in between, then we'll be well into 24 hours. So that's going to be our first movie marathon, and we're actually going to start in about 5 minutes time. So we'll be starting with Howard the Duck. So you can probably hear Howard the Duck in the background, and it's a little bit noisy in the kitchen because we're making breakfast, well, brunch. And we've got some snacks here as well. We've been shopping to get us through 24 hours. We've got quite a lot of stuff. We've got a few healthy things. We've got some grapes. We've got some melon slices, but we've also got pizza. We've got cherry bakewells, sweets, some new cream egg biscuits, which look good. I think we'll be devouring those later. A little Milky Bar egg, Easter egg, £1. It's not even Easter yet, but we'll forget about that. Some more Haribo, some mini egg chocolate nest cakes. Yeah, I think we're sorted for the 24 hours. So we'll check back again after Howard the Duck. It's currently on Howard the Duck with that woman from Back to the Future, the one who plays Marty McFly's mum. So we just finished Howard the Duck. It's 1 o'clock on Saturday afternoon, and yeah, I struggled with that one. I was kind of expecting to. It was just a bit stupid, really. I mean, it was nominated for different Razzie Awards and things in the 80s, and it was sort of nominated as the worst film of the decade. And yeah, I'd probably go that far and agree with that at the moment from what I've seen from the 80s. It's I mean, Leah Thompson from Back to the Future as well. What was she doing in this? I mean, she was credibility right down the window, and the guy from Ferris Bueller as well. I mean, the makeup was quite good for his character when he was being taken over by the alien thing, but apart from that, I just...
Tim Robbins.
Yeah, and Tim Robbins, yeah, as well. Like, it's, you know, thankfully that was before Shawshank Redemption, and he kind of redeemed himself, I think, about 8 years after this one. So, we're going to move on from this one in a minute to what's the next one? Seven Samurai, which is a foreign film on our list, and so this is film number 2. Struggling a bit already, so I think we're going to struggle for the next 22 hours. But that's our next film, and it's just over 3 hours, so you can check back with us again about 4:30 for another update after Seven Samurai. So we've been going for about 5 hours now, just over 5 hours, and we've done 2 films. So we've done Howard the Duck and this one, it's on in the background, Seven Samurai, which was the foreign film and the flop film so far. So next one on the list is Charlie Chaplin. One of the best ones from him, but most of his are really good anyway. City Lights. So that one is coming up next. What have we got after that? We've got Schindler's List after Charlie Chaplin. So what time is it now? 4:25 on Saturday, and it's already starting to get a bit darker. So we'll check back after Charlie Chaplin. So just finished Charlie Chaplin, City Lights from 1931, so good 80 years old that film, and still great, especially that last scene which is on the TV now where, well, not to give too many spoilers away, but he meets a blind girl and everything sort of turns out lovely in the end, which is really nice. And according to the box, it's in 1998 it was named one of the AFI, American Film Institute's top 100 American films. So there you go, still has the power, Charlie Chaplin, even though he's been gone since 1977. Great film, obviously, really good. And that's the 3rd film down on our list. The next one we're going to go for is Best Picture. And we're going to be watching 1993's Schindler's List, arguably one of Steven Spielberg's best films, I think. He had a good year actually that year, Schindler's List and Jurassic Park in 1993. So about just over 20 years old for this one, a winner of 7 Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Director for Steven Spielberg. I think that was warranted. So we're going to watch it. So over 3 hours, so another long one coming up. As you can probably tell, I don't know if my hair still looks like Chaplin, but Louise decided to dress me up like Chaplin, and when we put this video together, there'll be a nice little video of me walking along with my fashionable stick, which is basically a roll of wrapping paper, and my little moustache and my my side-swept hair. So I've tried to go for the Charlie Chaplin look. So Schindler's List next, and we're ordering some Chinese. Yummy. So we've just finished the Best Picture from 1993, Schindler's List from Steven Spielberg, and yeah, I think that's both kind of made us think it's a real sort of, well, it's a choker really, that film. It's particularly the end when you see the actual survivors from the time that it's Schindler's Jews, and just the facts and things that come up on the screen is really well, shocking really when you read them carefully. And you can see behind me basically the last shot of the film where the Schindler's Jews were actually placing rocks onto the gravestone of the real Schindler, Oscar Schindler, who died in 1974. So yeah, very important film, and I'm glad we watched it really. Best Picture. So we'll go on to something a bit lighter next. We've been going just over 10 hours now actually, so we've only got about 14 to go, and we're going to have something a bit lighter next. So I think it was a good decision actually to go from something as depressing as that to Singing in the Rain. I'll just say that I think that Liam Neeson and Ralph Fiennes were snubbed from the Oscars very badly that year, but Gene Kelly and the crew, Donald O'Connor, Debbie Reynolds, great 3 actors in Singin' in the Rain, one of the best musicals. Hopefully will lighten the mood a bit more, and it will take us to the 12-hour mark, halfway through our 24-hour marathon. Wow, it's just after 11 on Saturday night, and that means that actually we've been going for exactly 12 hours now, so we're halfway. And we've just finished Singin' in the Rain. What a glorious feeling. Lots of singing, lots of dancing. Yeah, it's good fun. I like that one. So that was our musical offering. And we are going to The Godfather Part 2 next, which is our sequel film on our list for our 24-hour movie marathon. So check back with us again in just over 3 hours. It's a long one, this one. So it's Sunday morning. We caved to sleep, and about sort of 45 minutes into The Godfather Part 2, which we started watching about 11 o'clock last night, we decided actually we're not going to be able to stay awake through this because it's a long film. So we decided to do something that we thought we were originally going to do for the sequel, and we decided to watch The Hunger Games: Catching Fire. And I even fell asleep through that as well. I think we both did at a couple of little points. So I kind of missed a little section of it, but we were tired. It was like, you know, sort of, we'd done about 14 hours of the marathon, so we decided, right, we're going to go to sleep. And now we're awake Sunday morning, and we're going to do the rest of the marathon, and we're going to go for a remake of the 1984 film, The Karate Kid. This one's got Jaden Smith and Jackie Chan in it. This one was released in 2010. So I'm wondering if they're going to do a sequel to this. Obviously Jaden Smith's getting a bit older now, so perhaps they won't. I don't know, maybe it was just a one-off. But I haven't seen this one for a while. I think I've only seen it or the whole film once. So I'm looking forward to watching it again. I think it'll be good, actually, hopefully. So this is the sequel, The Karate Kid. So we've just finished The Karate Kid. It's, I don't know what time it is actually, just after, well, it's nearly 1 o'clock actually on Sunday. So we've got 3 more films to go. We've got Donnie Darko next, which is our cult classic. We've got Finding Nemo, animation. And we're going to finish with The Elephant Man, so we'll be finished a bit later today. I think that's my favourite one so far, actually. I like Schindler's List, obviously, as well, but I like that one. I think it's good. I think it's a really good remake of the original. It's different because it's set in China, and obviously Jackie Chan's very different to Pat Morita, who was the original Mr. Miyagi, but it kind of makes sense. It's the Karate Kid, and the guy who played Daniel in the first one just wasn't a kid anymore. So I mean, a lot of this kind of makes sense, and you can see they put a lot of love into this one, and yeah, there's a lot of moments that are quite faithful to the original as well. Some lines and things. Yeah, and it's really good. I really like this one. So that was The Karate Kid. We're going to move on to Donnie Darko next. Again, another one that I haven't seen for a while. I don't think Louise has actually seen this one. No, she's shaking her head. So we'll see what we think of this one, and we'll come back again in a couple of hours. So we've just finished Donnie Darko, and that was our cult classic one on our 24-hour movie marathon. And it's a bit strange, really. It's, I mean, some good performances, but Richard Kelly's a bit of a hit and miss director. I mean, this is the one that he's remembered for, but he also did a film called The Box with thingy Cyclops from X-Men, James Marsden, and Cameron Diaz putting on the most dreadful accent that you've ever heard. Yeah, and that was just a shocking film. And to be honest, well, that one's all right, but it's I wouldn't go crazy over that film. I think it's a bit sort of contrived, really. Right, 2 more films to go, and the next one is an animation, one of the best ones from Pixar, but then most of their films are really good. This is Finding Nemo, and we will finish with The Elephant Man, which is our kind of biopic film starring John Hurt. Again, one that I haven't seen for a long time, actually. I think I've only seen it once, so I'm looking forward to finishing with that. But Finding Nemo is next.
looking a little bit worse for wear now, but we've just finished Finding Nemo. Both of us sort of caved to shut eye, I think, for a little bit through that film, and it's a good film as well. I think it's nice weather outside, and I think we just need to take a bit of a break. So we finished this one. We've got one more to watch, and we are doing 24 hours of films this weekend because we've still got one more to go. So we've got another 2-hour film, and this is the last one to watch. It's a biopic with John Hurt of The Elephant Man, David Lynch film. So we're going to watch that a bit later. We're going to have a break, and then we're going to come back and watch this final one. So there will be one more video, but hopefully when we're a bit more awake and fed as well. So this is good. I like Finding Nemo, and it's a good animation. I think visually it's really good, and I think the sequel will be nice and welcome after about 12 years since this one. 'Cause this one's 2003, and the sequel, I think it's either next year or I think it comes out in 2016. I think so. It'll be good. Finding Dory, the next one. So Elephant Man, last film for us, and that's coming a little bit later, so you can check back with us again after that one. That will be the end of our marathon. So 9 films down, 1 to go. Well, as you can see, I'm in bed, and we've just finished our 24-hour marathon, which we've managed to do over about 36 hours. We started about 11:10 yesterday morning, Saturday, and it's now about, well, it's 11:20 on Sunday night, so just over 36 hours. So we've had breaks and things in between, but we have managed to do 10 films in 24 hours. We started with Howard the Duck, which was our flop film. Then we had foreign films, Seven Samurai. Silent film was City Lights, Charlie Chaplin. Best Picture, Schindler's List. Musical, Singin' in the Rain. Originally our sequel was going to be The Godfather Part 2, but we decided in the end to change it to The Hunger Games, Catching Fire. Then we took a bit of a break, and we started again about 10 o'clock this morning, and we started with The Karate Kid, the remake, with Jackie Chan. Then the cult classic was Donnie, Darko. Animation, Finding Nemo. Again, we took a little break after that, just to kind of refresh. And then we've just finished watching The Elephant Man tonight, and yeah, credit to just finishing now. So that's it. That's the end of our 24-hour movie marathon. Join us again for another one soon. So from me and Lou, bye.